Welcome to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell, and we're here today for We Interrupt Regular Programming, our TV podcast. On today's show, we are going to cover True Detective Night Country. We're also going to look at Masters of Air and the last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. But before we begin, I'm going to tell the viewers and the listeners what they should do. Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one. Like, follow, subscribe. Follow us on all our social media channels. Tell us what you want to see from the channel. Comment on what you think about episodes such as We Interrupt Regular Programming or your theories on Night Country True Detective. Let's get on to today's show and let's start with Night Country True Detective. So where were we last week? We came up with a theory that the mining company is definitely involved in Anna's and the disappearance of the Solar workers, Clark, and so on. We found Otis in the dredges, and he is in a treatment facility, and Navarro is collecting ashes from her crematorium for her sister, who committed suicide last week. So Danvers realizes that the only way they're going to find where the caves are, where they thought Anna is killed, is to use Otis. At the same time, Pete has been kicked out by Kayla, and he looks like he's going to move in with his dad. You get Danvers and Navarro talking about her stepdaughter, how, she doesn't understand why she's protesting, and Navarro says, they're poisoning the town. This mining company is the big bad. The mine where they're going to search for Anna, where they killed Anna, has been blocked by the mine. It's been, demolished. Navarro is just out for blood. So she, as a job as state trooper, she has to go and sort the protesters out. And one of the protesters is Danvers' stepdaughter, Leah. Leah throws a rock at Danvers. Danvers goes, Navarro. And Navarro, what are you doing, kid? And then one of the other state troopers starts beating Leah up. Leah's girlfriend runs away. So Leah's just all there by herself. Navarro's the only one to try and help her out. She ends up hitting another state trooper. So Leah's in jail. Danvers says to Navarro, "Don't get her out. Just let her in there." So, you get to the point at this stage. Danvers is working on this case. She knows there's a link between the mine and Anna. Pete has come up with the theory through the financials that the mine is paying for Salal's research. So therefore, they're getting dodgy environmental reports to support the mine. So Danvers has this now. Colony calls her in for a meeting with the mine company. So she goes there with this information. She's ready to just lay it all on the table. But the mine fights back because they've got cameras of where Navarro and Danvers go to the mine to search for where Anna was killed. So they know something about Danvers. Danvers is saying, you're dodgy as he asked for the mine representative to leave. And then he calls Danvers on the fact that she was involved with a murder-suicide. That wasn't a murder-suicide. It was just a pure murder. And Navarro and Danvers was right in it. So he's spooked Danvers. And so she's going to give up the case. Navarro is saying that you're weak. She lets Leah out. Danvers goes over to try and talk Leah around coming back home. Pete has been kicked out by Kayla, remember? It was going to go move in with Hank, but Danvers tells a story about Hank that Pete doesn't like. Pete confronts Hank, and then Pete ends up moving to Danvers' shack out the back. At this stage, Danvers is really angry, and she's convinced to still look into this case. So she goes and gets Otis out of the treatment center, gets him high, and is ready to go and search for where Anna was killed. But Hank comes over says to Danvers that he's taking in Colin, he wants it. Danvers says no. Otis tries to make a run for it, and Hank kills Otis. He's about to do some, probably kill Danvers. When Pete walks in, he's seeing there's someone on the floor here, dead Otis. Pete and Hank have words. Hank says to Pete, families, blood is thicker than water, and then goes to shoot Danvers, and Pete kills Hank. Navarro's called, and Navarro says to Danvers, you cannot call this in. Colony wants this. Is going to bury Pete and us. So they decide to get rid of the bodies, and Pete's in charge of that. He's going to take it out to the ice and get rid of them, clean up the thing. And then while that's happening, Danvers and Navarro are going to the caves to find where they killed Anna. But before Hank died, he admitted that he moved Anna's body, but he said he did not have anything to do with Anna's death. So that's the theory is, the mind's involved in this. Now, there's got to be a twist. Either Clark accidentally killed Anna when Anna find out that Clark was doing the dodgy with the mine, or vice versa, the mine has killed and then Clark loses his mind over it. There's still got to be a time with the mystical. That rock with the symbol, one of the people early in the episode goes to Navarro and says, this rock signifies that this is Night Country. Stay away from it. So that's where Danvers and Navarro are going. So that's where we go next week on Night Country. So, yeah, it's probably one of the best episodes of TV that I've seen in a while. It's absolutely gripping that you get to that scene. And, amazing. So, for those who are just joining us, we're going to talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm now. Now, episode 2, The Lawn Jockey. So, we pick up this week where Larry has been arrested for giving water, which is against election rules in Georgia. Larry's meeting with a guy in the jail. He's telling him stories, and he says, you're probably lactose intolerant. I've had to give up nuts, the almonds that he had to give up because of the drought. You should live up, I think you're going to have to give up lactose. So Larry gets bailed out by his lawyer. His lawyer looks like a lot like Latte Larry. He's a mortal enemy from the Latte Larry episodes. And so he's sort of, I don't really want this guy to be a lawyer. He moves in with Jeff and Susie. They're renting an Airbnb, but there's a lawn jockey with of African American descent, and Leon's not happy with this. Larry's not happy. Jeff's not happy. But Susie says, leave the lawn jockey there. At this stage, Larry's sort of like a celebrity now. He's on Morning Joe. He's seeing all this great stuff because of him helping out with the Georgia lady getting water. So Larry decides him, Leon, and Jeff are going to go shopping for Susie's birthday, which is the next day. And they decided they're going to move the lawn jockey. Well, when they move the lawn jockey, they break the lawn jockey. They break him in half. So then they have to get another lawn jockey. Larry goes to a store and asks for a black lawn jockey from an African-American man. And the guy gives him his weirdest look. Larry goes, "This is not my idea. It's, Susie wants us to get at this." And at this stage, they're also searching for Susie's present. And they go to this store, and Larry has to go to the toilet, and Larry does this thing where he washes his hands and then he sprinkles soap in the air to make the toilet smell nice after he's gone to the toilet. And so Larry doesn't want to buy anything from the store, he just wanted to go to the toilet. And then this guy forces Larry to buy something, and then he convinces Jeff to buy this purse as a backup present for Susie. And then they're still searching for a lawn jockey, and then they find a white lawn jockey, and then they come up with a great idea to use the dye from Jeff's hair from the first episode and basically blackface with the lawn jockey. Susie realizes that they bought 2 gifts, and she thinks that, Jeff's cheating on her again. And Larry goes to Leon's mum's house and to meet the lawyer. He sacks the lawyer because he just can't stand it. He says, this guy's my mortal enemy. He's a doppelganger for my mortal enemy. I can't use him. They go home and it's really hot, and Jeff is sweating and his dye is starting to run, and then the dye from the lawn jockey is starting to run as well. So this lawn jockey that was in the back of the car, they got in trouble for, because they had a lawn jockey that basically melted and it looked like Rudolph Giuliani, and so they got a connection through the guy that was lactose intolerant. And Larry has his lawn jockey in the back. He goes to see Leon's mum. Someone opens the door and goes, Larry's a racist. So they're all out to get Larry after the fact that he was a sort of a hero for the Georgia thing. So Larry wants to plead guilty so he can get out of Georgia, but Leon's mum says, you are a civil rights activist now. You have to plead not guilty. You have to fight the good fight. So he pleads not guilty, and that's the end of the episode. It was one of the better episodes I've seen for a while. It was so funny. The lawn jockey, I can highly recommend. Let's keep with this Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's going out with a bang with this, and I love it. It's strange that 2 amazing episodes were actually released this weekend with Super Bowl, so not many people would have watched the HBO instead of the Super Bowl, but people will catch up with them during the week. So, but especially the True Detective one, it was an absolute banger of an episode, and so many things happen, and for that to be on Super Bowl weekend, just strange programming, I guess. The last thing we're going to talk about today on today's show, we interrupt this regular program, is Masters of the Air. So we've really been enjoying that. We left off with the guys in Africa after running the ball bearing factory down. They go back to England, and Cleveland still wants to stay, but the great Callum Turner, he goes to London, meets up with a girl, and then finds out Cleveland has went missing. So he's going to do a mission. It was a really strange episode this week. I don't know if they ran out of budget or something, but they didn't show the mission where Cleveland went missing. Cleveland missing the great Austin Butler. So it was really strange. A lot of the episode was about the babyface kid that got shot down. They are trying to escape through France. So they started in Belgium, they went going through France and get back to England. So they're trying to escape through the underground, and then there was sort of like 3 people that were saying that they're American, and it turned out one of them was a German trying to infiltrate this underground, and they're defiant sort of guys. And so mainly that was the episode. It was a really strange episode. There was a little bit about the planning of the mission, but there was nothing about how Cleveland's plane went missing. So they're down to only a few planes of this regiment that we've been following. So it'd be strange to see what happens next week. So yeah, and the episode was a lot shorter than the other ones as well. It was only 40 minutes as well. So yeah, I don't know if it was budget related, but yeah, it was just a really strange episode. We didn't get many fighter pilot bits that we've had, for the first couple of weeks. It was just brilliant fighter pilot stuff. So yeah, very strange. But that is Masters of the Air, and that is our show. What a great week we have on the channel. We have What's Next. It is our year anniversary. So we'll do reviews. We've got The Dry, Force of Nature, and we're also reviewing Dune as a part of the lead up for Dune Part 2, which comes out at the end of the month. We're also going to do a special edition of Movie News. We're going to answer your feedback. So get your feedback in. Ask as many questions you want. Theories about movies, about Hannah, why she hangs out with, Pete. strange, but it should be a good week. And then we do the AFI, and we're up to movie number 89, which is The Sixth Sense. So that should be good as well. Huge week for Peter and Hannah. We're flying to Melbourne to see Taylor Swift, so we'll have plenty of stories next week on the channel. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And until later in the week when we catch up for What's Next, the show where we help you figure out what to watch next, it's bye for now.